very strange. Welcome back. Yeah, had a good time?
Yeah.
You have to show me photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. This you have to help with this. Somebody move this till I open. Now bring it back. Very good. Thank you. This is for tonight. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastama Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Narayanah Paro Vyaktat Andamavyaktasambhavam Andasyantastvi lokaha Saptadvipa cha medini. From the beginning we will chant up to wherever we are now. Okay? Anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha Sasannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnirna chakriyah yam sannyāsamiti prahuhu yogam tam vidhi pandava nahya sannyasta sankalpaha yogo bhavati kaścana āruruksho mune yogam karma karanamuchyate yogarūಢasya tasyaiva shamah karanamuchyate yada hinendriyartheshu karma svanushajyate sarvasankalpa sannyasi yogarūಢastadochyate uddharedatmanatmanam natmanamavasadayet atmatmano bandhu atmaivaripuraatmanah bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shastrutve bhartetatmanya shatruvat. So we saw yesterday the cryptic verse. What is that? Uddharet atmana atmanam. And we saw the whole thing. Now we are ready to look into the Bhashya. Bhashya also we started. Yeah. So, na adhonayet. Up till then we have seen. Yeah. We saw this sentence, but we'll see it again. Nahi anyah kaschit bandhuh यः संसारमुक्तये bhavati. No one can be a friend. Bandhu, friend, relative. No one can be a friend or a relative to aid you in moksha. Nobody will say, please go join 3.5-year course. Nobody will say that. If they say that, that means they don't know what it is. That's why they are saying that. If they really knew what it was and the transformative quality of this knowledge and how it is utterly and completely transformative, it transforms the whole person from being somebody who is connected in dysfunctional ways to being connected in happy, healthy and functional ways. Samsara is a series of dysfunctional connections based on obligation, based on expectations, based on obedience, based on some concept of loyalty, filial loyalty, family loyalty, cultural loyalty, so many loyalties. So, because of these loyalties and all these things, the commitment is to what? The commitment is to keep this connection going, whatever the connection is at hand, even at the cost of my own emotional health. Keep it going. Because everybody is like this. Misery loves company. So at least we are all unhappy together. Yes, we are unhappy. That's not a good thing. But at least we are together. There is a strange solace in samsara. So Adi Shankara, that's why he left home at 8. So he knows very well what are the pitfalls of samsara. And somewhere else, I think it is in Bhartrihari's one work, I forgot which is, where the ties that bind in samsara are made of silk, not harsh iron. They are made of silk, but they are still what? Bondage. So it's like saying, I'm in a golden cage. If you're in a golden cage or an iron cage, what's the difference? No difference. Cage is a cage. It binds. So similarly here also, same idea is talked about. That the bandhu cannot be a friend in your quest for moksha. So what to do? Go at it by yourself or make new friends who are able to support you. That is what is satsang. Satsang means that is what it is. Find like-minded people. Because the people who are in the samsara cannot help you come out of the samsara. Why? Because they want to bring you back. Yesterday we saw all this in detail. So literally he says, what does he say? He says that anyah kaschit bandhu whosoever it may be, another person cannot bring this person out from samsara. Why? Because both are drowning. How will this one get the other one out? So what do you need? You need the help of Shastra and Guru to come out of samsara, not somebody else who is already flailing in samsara and who says, come on, I'll give you a hand. Where is this person who is giving the hand? In the middle of the quicksand. From the quicksand, she gives a hand. Okay, what kind of a hand will it be? A very dubious hand. You don't even feel like holding. But then the person says, don't you love me? If you love me, you will hold your hand. You will hold my hand. And then you hold the hand and Both go glub, glub, glub. So therefore, what is the problem? Samsara. So the problem is in samsara, so the solution should be what? Out of samsara. So that is what it means. Nobody who is still stuck to that vision of samsara, which is a vision of all kinds of divisions, Jiva Jagat Bhedaha, Jiva Ishvarayoho Bhedaha, and then Jiva Jiva Bhedaha, all these things. Bheda means division. So the samsara cannot rescue you, because the samsaras and all the people in samsara are devoted to a vision of division. That is all they want, and so they don't know what they want actually, so they are not of much help. In fact, once you come out, you can help them. And then further, Adi Shankara says why they are not helpful will be given in the next sentence. Bandhurapi tavat moksham prati pratikulah eva snehadhibandayatana snehadhibandayatanatvat tasmat yuktam avadharanam Atma eva Atmanah bandhuh iti. So, nahi anyah kaschit samsara muktaye, samsarat muktaye, samsara muktaye bandhuh bhavet, will not be there. Why? Bandhuh apitavat, because moksham prati pratikulah eva. So any friend or relative that is there, that is telling you that I am going to quote unquote help you to get moksha, unless they are a guru. Okay, like Shvetaketu got knowledge from who? Relative, father. But the father was already enlightened. That's a different thing. So, and then Maitreyi got knowledge from who? Yajnavalkya, her own husband. But the difference was they were already enlightened. Here, an unenlightened bandhu, self-appointing themselves to be your redeemer, is not possible. Why? Because not only will they not take you towards moksha, but they will become the greatest obstacle in your getting moksha. Moksham prati pratikulah eva. They can only be an obstacle. What? Another 3 months course? Why you are going? Didn't you learn everything that you had to learn in the last 3 months course? Why you are going again? There's so much to do. I'll make your favorite cake. Don't go. This is how the silken threads, which seem soft, and they also are what? Equally tight. Bondage is there. This is what is called love bombing. Okay, they bombard you with love. They drop love bombs, and therefore they make the resolve weak. So therefore, so here it says sneha. Sneha means, the word sneha is a very interesting word from snih, which is thick and viscose. Something that's oily is called sneha. Fat is called sneha. Oh, but my relatives are not fat. No, not that kind of a fat. Fat means sticky. Like some types of toffee. You start chewing and then what? You feel like you need a pair of dentures immediately because the 2 teeth are stuck completely because of that kind of a consistency. And you try to talk, no words come out for a change, nothing. You are speechless because the top jaw has gone and stuck to the bottom jaw. In the middle, there is this toffee, and it doesn't know how to melt quickly. You are trying to melt it, but it is not melting. And so this is what is called sneha. Sneha means sticky. And it's very interesting. This dhatu, is used for affection. Yeah, not love, but affection. Affection means, you know what? Sneha. Sneha means affection. Affection is always what? Sticky. It's a very sticky situation. I'm going to give you this. What are you going to give me? I scratched your back. Now you have to scratch my back. When you were sick, I made you soup. So what do you have to do now? Make me soup. But you're not sick. Doesn't matter. Make me. This is how it gets. This is how it gets. There are expectancies, expectations. And then one time if you make soup, the expectation doesn't go away. How long is it? Lifelong. And then you will be making soup for their children also. So this is how it will be. And so this is all based on obligations. And then when I talk like this, many people say, what's wrong with that? That's how we grow up. That's how we live. It is give some, it is take some. I'm not against reciprocity. I'm not against sharing of resources. I'm not against helping somebody. I'm not also against them helping oneself. No problem. But it is not freely given. When something is given, then there is 10 times more that has to come back in return. So this is the situation, and this is why Adi Shankara says, not only do they not, if supposing is not helpful to moksha, you can say, okay, you sit down here, I'll do my studies. Not only are they not helpful, they are in the way of your moksha. Pratikula means they go against your moksha. Why? Snehadhi bandhanatvat. Sneha adi. Adi means some other expectations, obligations, toxicity, some other kind of conditions. All this is there. And then so snehadi bandha ayatanatvat. Ayatana means that is the vehicle. Sneha is the vehicle for which bondage? That is called relative. That is called friend. Okay. Snehadi ayatanatvat. So therefore what? Yuktam. Yuktam means this is tenable, appropriate. What is appropriate? Avadharanam. This ascertainment is appropriate. What is the ascertainment? Atma eva atmanah bandhu. You alone are your friend. This statement is tenable, and this only must be understood. Why? Because everything else is in the way. I mean, forget the 3-month course, forget everything. You look at the lives of saints. Not just in the Hindu tradition. Anywhere somebody is venerated as a saint, a holy person, look at their life. It's not a picnic. They'll have gone through many hardships. They would have left home. Nobody sits at home and gets enlightenment, okay? They would have left home. They would have gone through jungles. They would have lived under very difficult circumstances, wild animals, no food, etc., and then gained this knowledge and then have become saintly. So, if it was just so easy to live in samsara and be free of samsara, then the Shastras would not say this. And also, the saints that we know who have written books or whose biographies are there, from their life also, we learn that this is a solitary quest. Why? Because there alone you can be responsible for yourself and nobody else. This is what is said. And then, Atma eva ripuhu shatruhu yaha anyaha apakari Bahyah Shatruhu Sah api Atma Prayuktah eva iti. Yeah. So the next line is what? Atma eva ripuhu atmanah. What does ripu mean? Shatru. What does Shatru mean? Ripu. Okay. Enemy. Inimical. Atma, you are your own enemy. Oh, not really. Just now you said, see, this is a contradiction. Just now you said, I am my own friend. Did you not say that just one line ago? And now you are saying, I am my own enemy? What is this? Red flag. Gita must not be studied. It is full of contradictions. See, I can be a friend to some people and then enemy to some other people. There is no contradiction there. I am the friend of everybody in this room, but somebody somewhere, I am an enemy. No contradiction. Same person. Same I can be friendly towards one group of people and inimical to another group of people. No contradiction. But here there is a contradiction. Why? The same person, like supposing I say, all of you are my best friends. And then, not even 1 minute later, I say, all of you are my worst enemies. Then, what will you think? Something happened. Up till lunchtime, she was okay. Now she is contradicting herself all over the place. This is the conclusion anybody will come. Correct? Something is wrong. This is how mad people talk. So if I am already my best friend, my own best friend, how can I be my own enemy? Adi Shankara only will explain. But here, I am my own enemy because of everything that we talked about yesterday. What did we talk about yesterday? Self-sabotage. Yeah. Nobody says fall off the path. Nobody is telling anything. Suddenly the person leaves Vedanta. Suddenly the person stops having Shraddha towards Guru, towards Shastra. Suddenly the person does not have Shraddha that this knowledge will take place. Suddenly the person gets up and goes away, sometimes after many years of Shravanam. Because when the Shravanam was going on, the person was somewhere else, listening to some other imaginary music. And so the knowledge did not take hold in the head, in the heart. And so therefore the person is unconvinced and goes away. So when you go away, when a person goes away, what are they going away from? Themselves. Why? Because the subject matter of Vedanta is what? Atma. Which is what? Brahman. Atma as Brahman is the subject matter of Vedanta Shastra, and the subject matter of Vedanta Shastra being you, if you go away from you, if that is not self-sabotage, what else is? So therefore, you are your worst enemy under certain conditions. Under certain conditions, you are your best friend. Under certain conditions, you are your worst enemy. What is the condition where you are your own best friend? When Purushartha Nishchaya takes place. When you say that this alone is going to free me, when you can actually see that, you don't just repeat that. When you see that this pain, this sorrow needs an abidance in this teaching, and this is only thing that is going to free me, and what I want from this knowledge is only freedom. I don't want to sell this knowledge, I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there, I don't want to do this or that, I don't want to become famous because of this knowledge. Even the desire to teach is premature. One must come to this knowledge only with the view of becoming free. Free from what? All kinds of notions that disrupt the life. Notions about myself, And so, if I am able to see this, and if I apply myself when I am able to apply myself to a course of study, exposing myself to the Shastra, then the Atma becomes a friend, because nobody else is a friend. When I self-sabotage myself, and when I tell myself that this will not work, who gets moksha? Nobody gets moksha. The person concludes. Why do they keep studying? Nobody gets moksha. Why bother? This is how they talk. And then after a while they themselves get convinced of what? Nobody gets moksha. And then they will go away and take a few more people with them, because they have now become some kind of Shrestha leaders. And so therefore here it says Atma eva ripuhu atmanaha. And then Adi Shankara goes all Vedantic on us. Okay, how Shatruhu yaha anyaha apakari Bhashya Shatruhu. So yaha anyaha means other than me, whoever is there. Yaha anyaha, who is that? Not upakari. The opposite of upakari is what? Apakari. Apakarin. Apakari means inimical. Upakari means benefactor. The one who helps you is called upakari, and the one who hurts you is waiting to bring you down and topple you in some way or the other is called what? Apakari. So whoever I say this is the enemy, and I point to somebody standing somewhere and I say this is the enemy, where is that person? Bhashya, outside of me, because I can see the person standing there, and I say this is the bad person or these are the bad people. What happens then? Adi Shankara says that saha api atma prayuktaha eva. So atma prayuktaha means that person is also a product of Atma, of oneself. How? In the sense that if one finger is pointing towards another person, three fingers are pointing back at me. How? What does that mean? In Vedanta we say, if you are annoyed at somebody, that means what? You are annoyed at yourself. If you don't like somebody, there is a part of them that reminds you of some hurt or pain in the heart. That's why they bother you. Otherwise, no one should bother you. So, botheration, transference, projection, pain, sorrow. You see somebody and freak out. You see another person and you're annoyed. You see the third person and you say, oh, you're such a big bore. All these feelings are what? They are the product of your own antahkarana, the unconscious mind. It has nothing to do with the other person. And sometimes this is evident, like in a newly married state, what happens? One person finds certain characteristics of the other person very adorable. Oh, so cute, you're doing this, so cute. 6 months later, it becomes uncute. Yeah, and now the person is confused. I thought you loved it when I threw my clothes everywhere. What happened? What happened? You yourself don't know how to explain what happened. Because the person hasn't changed. Before also was throwing the clothes everywhere. And in the beginning, what did you have? Shobhana Adhyasa. What is Shobhana Adhyasa? A extra value added subjective evaluation, a positive subjective evaluation of the other person. Oh, they can do no wrong. Whatever they do is cute because they did it. If anybody else did it, I would chew off their head, but because they did it, it is cute. And then what? 6 months later, and after getting repetitive stress injury from picking up everything that was on the floor, then what happens? Then, why don't you do this? When you say, why don't you do this? Why don't you pick up the person is confused, What? I thought you liked it. That's why I've been putting a few extra things also. And then they say, no, I don't like this at all. So then what happened in these 6 months? Honeymoon got over. Honeymoon got over is English explanation. Shastric explanation is what? From Shobhana Adhyasa, I went to what? Ashobhana Adhyasa. First there is a positive transference, and then very soon it turns into what? Negative transference. Yeah, this happens in the courses also. The longer the course, the more this happens. Yes. Okay. So in the beginning, OMG, East or West, these teachers are the best. And then that is just the first 3 months. And after that, what? See, this teacher is so useless, not looking at me, looking only in this direction, looking only in that direction, not making eye contact with me. Somebody came and told me this, That is why I love online classes. This problem is not there. The teacher looking at somebody and leaving somebody out is not there. But somebody came and told me, this is not fair. You never look at me. I thought you liked me. I said, I have no problem with you. No, I thought you loved me, but you don't look at me at all. You're always looking at this one and that one and here and there. So then I said, where do you sit? Where are you sitting? Behind Satish, or somebody like Satish. Okay? Behind the tallest person. This person went and sat, all right? And the tall person cannot help how tall they are. That's how they are, all right? And so this person was not only short but very petite, tiny. Sitting behind, I could not even make out. So unless I played a game, peekaboo, where are you? Unless I played a game, I will not see this person. And even if I played a game, I will not see this person. So then I said, if you put yourself in my place, and there was somebody sitting behind this tall person, what would you see? Oh, I never thought of it like that. It was news to her. Suddenly it was news. So first it was a baby self-sabotage right there. You go sit behind the tallest person, in a way you are giving a signal. I want to be invisible. Don't look at me. Why? Because I am behind the tallest person. Don't look at me. And then, no attention is coming. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. We jivas are crazy, totally. Loco, yes. Totally. Gone case, really. Only person who can tolerate us is Bhagavan. All right? Because he made this mad mind. That is how. So first we have Shobhana Adhyasa, and then it need not, but it can turn into, if one doesn't watch out and if one doesn't catch it and let go, it can turn into what? Ashobhana Adhyasa. And so when this transformation happens, that person is inimical to me. This person is out to get me. This person is putting a spell on me. And meanwhile that person doesn't even know the spelling of the word spell. Okay, doesn't know how to spell it. But this person is doing this person is doing that. This is what? My own projection. And that is what is Adi Shankara very cleverly points out. Yaha anyah shatruhu. Who is that? Bhashya. Yaha bhashya vartate. Sopi, that person also where is that person? Here. Because what is my connection to the person? Difficult feelings, annoyed feelings. The feelings are not on top of that person. Where are the feelings? Right here. So therefore, they are what? Atma prayuktaha. Atma prayuktaha means antahkarana prayuktaha. Antahkaranena prayuktaha is Atma prayuktaha. Means it is this enmity or this so-called enmity is brought about by my own immaturity, is brought about by the wrong and a partial reading of the situation. So therefore, what? So therefore, I have to take care and see that there are no other enemies. No other enemies are there. And then why? Because it's all in my head. Every person who I think is not liking me is in my head. You spot it, you got it. This is what we say. So if you spot something in somebody you don't like, that means the seeds of that are right here. It's self-hatred that is being broadcast outside as hatred of things, situation, people, etc. There is no enemy. This is what all the saints also say. All the Mahatmas, Sadhus, teachers of Vedanta, everybody says this. And so therefore, so he says, Yuktameva avadharanam atma eva ripuhu atmanah iti. Yuktameva avadharanam. It is proper to ascertain. It is proper to come to this conclusion, this ascertainment. What? You are your own enemy. That is all it is. Okay. And so, next one. Atma eva bandhuhu. Atma eva ripuhu. Atmanah iti uktam. Tatra kim lakshanah atmanah bandhuhu kim lakshano va atmano ripuhu iti uchyate. Yeah. So, iti uktam. This has been said. What has been said? You are your own best friend and you also become your own worst enemy. Thus, it has been said. Where has it been said? Just now it has been said. Yes? Yeah. And then, now the question will arise, Kim lakshanah atmano bandhuhu. So, this friend that I am supposed to greet, this friend that I am supposed to discover, in whom? Myself. So, this friend that I am supposed to discover where? In myself is what kind of friend? How can I look for this friend? Kim lakshanah bandhuhu. What kind of characteristics will this friend have? How will this friend of mine, which is who? Myself, how will it look? What will it wear? And then what will it say to me? How do I recognize? In other words, how do I recognize the Atma to be a friend? And then when it is a friend? And then how do I recognize my own self to be inimical to me when I am not thinking clearly and when I am in that ajnanam? So, iti uchyate. That uchyate is not here online, so I have to look here because one page is missing. Okay. Iti uchyate. So, we chanted this already. Bandhuhu Atma Atmanaha. Bandhuhu Atma Atmanaha. So, Tasya Atmanaha Saha Atma Bandhuhu. So, Bandhuhu Atma Atmanaha Yena Atmaiva Atmana Jitaha. So, under what conditions am I a friend to myself? When I have won over my sense organs and my mind. Jitaha. Jitaha means what? Conquered. Yena, by whom? Yena Atmana, by which self the other accoutrements such as vak, karmendriyas, sense organs. What else is there? Manaha, buddhi, ahankaraha, chittam are all in my hands. I have conquered all of them. If I don't conquer all of them, what will happen? Yes, I will be conquered by them. This is samsara. Being conquered by the ahankara, being conquered by all of them is called samsara. But here they are with me. They are all with me. And in that condition, I am a friend. They are all with me means what? It's not that all the desires are dropped. Desires are there. But instead of being possessed by desire, what do I become? Possessor of desire. Possessor means what? I am the possessor of this book. Then I can give it to somebody. Gone. I am free to give it or to keep it in my bookshelf. I am free. But if the book were possessing me, then I will look around. Who's coming to take it? My book, my book, my book. And then sometimes people write in block letters, please don't remove in Sharpie pen, as though that's a deterrent. Think about it. In big sharp, what is that? Sharpie? Yeah, Sharpie pen, that marker. Yeah. Please don't remove from here. Okay, if they remove, what's going to happen? Tell me. Yeah, nothing will happen. Simply like this. You think you are scaring the person who is going to take the book away. They are not at all scared. They are saying you are a buddhu. That's what they are saying. Buddhu means unintelligent. Because they don't care if the cover is full of please don't remove. They will go home and keep it and tell their friends, please don't remove. This is how it is. And so therefore, you are a friend to yourself when the mind, buddhi, sense organs, organs of action and the ahankara are not hijacked by desires and by actions. First by desires and then what? Actions. That is when you are a friend to yourself. Why? Because now we know who is the enemy. These are the fellows that are inimical. If you allow them to just take over, they will take over. So, these are the friends, and who are these friends? The antahkarana, all of them, manaha, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all of them are under my sway. I am not under their sway. Then I am the bestest of friend to everybody. But whereas if the person is hijacked by the antahkarana, then what? One has become tied up by oneself. One has become one's own enemy. This is the idea. And so let us look at the Bhashya. So, Bandhuhu Atma आत्मनः तस्य तस्य आत्मनः सः आत्मा बन्धुः येन आत्मना आत्मा एव जितः. And so, bandhuhu atma atmanah. So, atmanah bandhuhu. Who? Atma. Atma atmanah bandhu. For whom? One is a friend of to oneself. For whom? Tasya atmanah. So, tasya atmanah means for that person who is what? Tasya atmanah bandhuhu. Who is this Atma? Yena Atmana Atma eva jitah. So the Atma, I become a friend to myself when I am, when all the Karya Karana Sanghata, all the, what's the word for it? The body, mind, sense complex is no longer having to be saved by somebody else. I am in charge. Sometimes people will say, I don't know what to do, tell me what to do, tell me where to go. And I don't know how to stop drinking, tell me how to stop drinking. And then they will say, okay, go to this facility. I don't know how to book. You please book and you send me. And then you say, okay, at least I am doing a good deed. So you book and you send. And then what? They come back the very next day. Why are you back? Food was not good over there. Did you go to eat or did you go to detox? That viveka is not there at all. Viveka is not there. And so therefore they are always, this is why it says, uddharet, lift yourself up, because one is always looking for a savior. Who will save me? Some theologies are also what? Savior theologies. So and so becomes the savior. Krishna becomes savior. And this one becomes savior. Whoever it is becomes savior. And so, nothing wrong to say that as a devotee. But if you take it literally, then it is not good, because even though I have free will, I am not exercising agency. That is the problem. I am not exercising agency at all. And so therefore what? So therefore here one is one's own worst enemy when you stop being an advocate on your own behalf. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to move a few hands and legs. You have to develop, one has to cultivate the mental strength. Strength has to be cultivated. All this has to be done. And so only then we can see that this will come to a proper fruition. And so here, therefore it says, so Atma Karyakarana Sanghatah Yena Vashikritah Jitendriyah Ityarthah. So the Atma here, one of the Atmas here, the word Atma, so that Yena Atmana Atma Jitah. So the second Atma here is what? Karya Karana Sanghatah. The body, mind, sense complex is conquered by who? By oneself. So this body is not going everywhere. I have no control. I'll just do whatever I feel like, wherever I feel like. That is not the case. You can't, just because you're sleepy, you can't sleep, except in class. That's an exception. But nowhere else you can sleep. If you go to an office meeting and then say, I just went off to sleep, or you don't even know you have gone off to sleep, and then what will they give you? Pink slip, exit notice. Here, don't come from tomorrow, please enjoy good sleep at home. That's what they will tell. But you can't say, I felt like sleeping. And then what? And then some places, it is very strict. Some ashrams, even here, we don't allow eating and drinking unless it's prasad. Then everything is allowed, okay? So, so you don't allow in the thing. And sometimes they'll put a board also. Please, in Kailas ashram and all, very strict. Please don't eat or drink. And then if you're eating and drinking there, then what does that show? That shows there is no ability to conquer. There is a time and place for everything. And then I can't be a rebel. I can't be either a rebel or what is called a rabble rouser. Instigating everybody. Some fellow put up this sign. Why should we listen to it? Let's eat, let's drink, and all this. So one time we had the small room where you do yoga, that above the dining hall. So the first course that we ever had here recently was in that room. Do you know why we came here? Because when the tea bell used to ring, people used to bring their tea into the class and sip under. Why is everybody looking under the desk? One after the other. Okay? So, they are nodding, they are looking, they are engaged. Suddenly, and then I am thinking, they dropped a pen. I'm very gullible, anything, I am not very clever that way. So some pen they dropped. Another person this side also dropped a pen. First I thought, what is it? So many people are dropping pens. So then afterwards, as I walked out, everybody has one neat glass from the dining hall with various levels of chai in it. Yeah, tea in it. So then what happened? We decided that if there is a distance between the tea and the classroom, this thing will not happen. And boy, it worked. It really worked. Okay. So then it was nothing, it was not out of malice that the people were doing. They were all very sweet people, very lovely people. Yeah, they still are. They still keep coming sometimes. And lovely people. But what happened was that it was easily available right there. And sometimes, the Bhagavad Gita class in those days, that's another reason I changed the time. Yeah, the Bhagavad Gita class was at 3:45. So the tea time is when? 3:30. 3:30, sometimes 3:35, 3:30, 3:40, they ring. They don't, this is not on some kind of a clockwork. There are actual people making the tea. So sometimes they come late, sometimes, God only knows what happens, they are late. And so on the days that is late, oh my God, how can I won't be, the thinking was this, I will not be available for transaction in the class if I don't have this tea. There's not enough time to drink tea. I can't come late to class. So what am I going to do? Come along with the tea. This is how it happened. So, these are all ways in which basically, even though I think I'm rebelling against a system, I'm doing something against, but actually I am becoming my own worst enemy because I'm in the hands of something else, some pressure. I'm in the hands of some pressure that tells me wherever you see a rule, go against it, break it. That is the thing. That's what cats do. You don't have to do that. That's why there is an expression, what does it say? If a task is very difficult, they will say it is like herding cats. You can herd sheep, you can make some special noises and they'll all come together. And so if there's 50 cats, can you all put them in one place? No. So it will be like that. So this is the second kind of person, the one who is inimical to oneself, is basically the kind of person who is not able to follow things which are for their own good. They are not able to follow at all. And so they make wrong choices out of aviveka, no viveka, out of no viveka, they make terribly wrong choices, and as a result of those choices, who suffers? They themselves suffer. Other people also they suffer, but they suffer the most, because they are constantly getting caught, getting punished, getting upbraided, getting scolded, and they are saying, why am I always getting scolded? That's because you are not doing things in the proper way. So therefore, the one is, this is the person who is one's own enemy. And then, then anatmanah tu ajitatmanah tu shatrutve shatrubhave varteta atma eva shatruvat. Two contrasts. The first one is what? Karyakarana sanghatah yena vashikritah saha. So, by whom the Karyakarana sanghata, the body, mind and antahkarana, etc. have been won over, by whom? Such a person is called Jitendriyah. Adi Shankara puts this because the very next verse is going to describe such a sage as Jitendriyah. Very next verse, the 7th verse, I think. No, the 8th verse is going to, 7th verse also. See, Jitatmanah. And then the 8th verse, Vijitendriyah. Same thing. So then that's why he says the Jitendriyah. So there is a contrast. The first one, who has the mind, the desires and all these rebellious thoughts, etc. under one's management, Vashikritah. And then the second one is called Anatma by Adi Shankara. What is Anatma? What is Anatma? Inert. Yeah, so that person is as good as a rock. Inert. Anatma. So why? Because they are not behaving like Atma. Whether you take Atma to mean Karyakarana Sanghata, body, mind, sense complex, or whether you take the Atma to mean the consciousness, they are not behaving like either. They are not simply sitting quietly like consciousness, and neither are they as a personality being, spending time growing emotionally and bringing the mind under their management. They are not doing either. So what are they? Anatma. Anatmanah tu, meaning, see, if you go and you see one rock on the wayside, are you going to sit and say hello to it? Are you going to measure it? Are you going to look at it? Not particularly, because it's not some big Shivalinga or a temple or anything. It is in some roadside rock. You are not going to pay it any attention at all. So to such a person also, same thing. Nobody is going to pay attention. Why? Because of their behavior. Because of their behavior, they make themselves invisible. And what do they want? Attention, visibility. But invisible, how do they become? Because nobody takes them seriously, like an inert object on the side of the road. Everybody ignores and walks away. And so similarly, this person also, nobody takes seriously when they talk. Everybody ignores on the roadside and totally walks away. Everybody ignores them and totally walks away. And so therefore what? Shatrutve, Shatrubhave, Varteta Atma Eva Shatruvat. Shatruvat means that they will be hostile like an enemy. To whom? Unto themselves alone. So therefore, Tatha Anatma Shatruhu Atmanah Apakari Tatha Atma Atmanah Apakare Varteta Ityarthah. So Yatha, in which manner Anatma Shatruhu Atmanah. So Anatma here, slightly different meaning. Anatma means the person outside. Not other than Atma, but the person opposite of Atma. Not myself, somebody else. This is what it is. So, Anatma. So, the Anatma means, who is this Anatma? Somebody outside of me. Don't think inert. That explanation is over. Okay, this is Adi Shankara's different take on it. So, the first one was Pujya Swamiji's take. The second one is Adi Shankara's take. So, tatha anatma shatruhu atmanah. So, the idea is that the enemy outside will definitely do harm, and so in the same way, apakari tatha atma atmanah apakare varteta. So, in the same manner, one is hostile to oneself. One becomes an enemy to oneself. And so, very beautiful 2 verses on the whole psychology of Ragadvesha in the Bhagavad Gita. More we'll see when day after tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnasya Purnamadaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.